super mad Spartan, but he's mellow in the off season here of Spartan football here. Cue the
Know
woodshed.
about basketball.
Right. Cue the woodshed, continuing our classic Spartan series of interviews here. We have the pleasure of bringing back our very first guest of the show, our podcast, Spartan legend Little John Flowers, making his return. How you doing, sir? What's going on with you?
It's good, man. Good. Just glad to catch up with everybody and get back on here. I told y'all I'd be
Yes,
back.
yes, yes. We're
Again, we
glad to
appreciate you
have
coming
you.
back on with us. Yep.
Yes. We'll definitely have, glad to have you back on. So uh, let's go ahead and get things started here. So, Little John, hey man, you were classic running back in the day, and like I said, Spartan legend. And if I recall, when we first interviewed you, I believe you played under Nick Saban. Is that correct? Under Nick
Yeah.
Saban back in the day.
Yep. Nick Saban
Okay.
and Bobby Williams. Nick Saban was the one who recruited me up there.
Okay.
Bobby Williams at the end of my career. Yep.
Okay. So, how were those days under Nick Saban? I know, the Nick Saban that we all know now. Of course, he retired from Alabama. We know that Nick Saban, but how was it playing for him, back in his Michigan State days? How was that experience?
He was probably about my age right now. Young 40-year-old, 44-year-old, I think he was when he recruited me. But he was fiery as ever. And you just knew greatness. Just with his, how he recruited, how he came down to Kalamazoo and did his thing to get me and TJ Duckett to the program. Just greatness. And then being in the program with him for those 2.5 years before he left. Like we were where we were going somewhere with that program. Like he had the right pieces, the right people, right coaches with him. He was heading in the right direction. He was on his way to be great. I think if some things would have been a little different and things, Michigan State would have had some of that success that Alabama and LSU has had. But he had us on the right track. We were on the right track. He recruited some hell of a guys during the years that he was there.
And if I recall, I think Saban beat Michigan his first year. Is that right?
That was he was here. That was a little bit before me.
Okay.
Because he had been here. I think he was at Michigan State at 95, 96.
Yeah. I think he came in 95.
98, 99. Yeah, for like 5 years he was at Michigan State. So yeah, he did. I got there in 98, the last 2 years of his thing there. But yeah, he had a pretty decent record against Michigan. We beat him. We beat Tom Brady his senior year at Michigan. We beat them at the Woodshed back in I think that was 99. That was the 99 year, his last year.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I think it was.
Funny enough, I just turned that game on YouTube. I was at work and I said, put something on the background and watch some of the glory days.
My claim to fame in that game was I came in and threw the flea flicker to Bill Burt, and he threw it down there for a long pass to Plexico. Got us down to the 1 or something like that, and we scored right after that. So, I was the running back who could do the flea flicker. I think TJ could have did it, but they was a little like iffy on it. They wanted him to, run up to the line, stop and throw it back. So I had the pleasure of having that job to doing that. So that was like the biggest play of my career at the time, the flea flicker.
Yeah, I remember watching that game because I think Michigan was kind of shell-shocked when they played state that year. Because yeah, I remember Tom Brady. I think he was sharing the quarterback spot with Drew Henson back then.
Yeah,
And
Yes,
then
he
I know
was.
yeah.
Michigan schools. You know, quarterback ever sharing time with somebody. You know, they didn't know any better. But yeah, when he came in the game, though, you could see his greatness. Like he the one who brought them all the way back because it was a beat down. We were beating the crap out of them. And then, when Tom got in and got settled in there, he was bringing them back. So the game ended up being, I think, 38-35 or something like that. It was way closer than it really was. But that was because of Tom Brady really just bringing them back. So,
hmm
yeah, that was just Michigan not going any better.
Like I said, I just watched the game. Yeah, they were up by like two touchdowns, like almost over 14 points going into the fourth quarter. And then they say he did bring them back because I think the final score I just pulled it up is 34-31. So
Yeah,
hey, at
but
least we got the dub, so all that matters. But
that's all
yeah, it was
that
tight.
matters. You know it. That's all that matters.
What are some other classic games that you remember at
Um,
Michigan State during your playing
I
time
think
there?
all the Notre Dame games besides my freshman year. My freshman year, we beat Notre Dame pretty good handily. So that one wasn't that good. But I was in the game when we played. Let me go through them. All three of them, I think, was last second plays that won the game. So we were the next year we went to Notre Dame, and that was the year that I was in the game on that play. Um, we threw a hot. They blitzed us, and we had to go. Like I remember picking up the blitz, and I think it was Bill Burke threw it to Gary Scott on the left hand side down the sideline. He break a tackle down the sideline, touchdown. We win that game in Notre Dame. It was huge. It was crazy. It was a big,
hmm
huge play. That one was big. Then the following year, we had them at the Woodshed, Notre Dame, and I don't know what they were thinking. Again, it was real close, and it was I think it was Jeff Smoker who threw this one, and he threw it to
Oh
Herb Hagen
yeah, I remember Jeff
right
Smoker.
across. We threw a slant, another hot route,
Yeah, her. Yeah,
another
just
hot
smoking
route,
her.
pick block, and Herb caught it, do one move to the house, like 50 something yards, touchdown to beat them in the last waning seconds, and then you know. The last one, my senior year, we played them at Notre Dame again, and Ryan Van Dyke threw a touchdown pass to the late great Charles Rogers. He caught one, and
Yes, yes,
so those three
yes.
games there was huge. Those were big, huge wins for the program, and just going down to Notre Dame and beating them. That was big time, and then the 1 second game with Michigan. That was a huge game um,
The
that we
Spartan
won.
Bob controversy,
Yeah, yeah,
as
yeah. That was.
the Michigan fans refer to Spartan
Yep,
Bob.
absolutely. And then you're thinking about like I think the Citrus Bowl. That was a big win against Florida.
Yep, I
Florida had
remember
a
that
lot of
one.
good
Yep.
guys on that team. That was a huge win. And then I was part of the team that beat the number one team in the country, Ohio State, my freshman year with Nick Saban. We weren't that good as a team, but we had some hell of a football players on that team, and that was like the building stages of us, getting ready to go into my sophomore year and how good we
hmm
really were when we did make it to, when we did get to the Citrus Bowl, um, and that was a huge game. Like. Um, we beat them on like the last. They had one chance to try to win the game, and it was down in Ohio State, and it was number one team in the country, and we were like 5-5 or something like that. We were a 500 team at the time, and we beat them. It was a big, huge upset. I'd never seen that many grown people cry. I was a freshman on the team. Just like, we were having pride out there at Ohio State. I was like, man, that meant some stuff to them, So, that was huge. That was a big game. Like, it was a lot of them. I played in a lot of big games up there. And but those are some that just stood out. Of games that was just like, wow, I was a
hmm
part of that.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Brian, as fans, but I kind of miss the MSU Notre Dame rivalry because they've had some classic battles. I mean, going all the way back to the '60s with Bubba Smith and all of those players back then. The historic 10-10 tie.
Yeah, yeah,
And
It's an
through this go
iconic
through
rivalry.
years.
I wish,
Oh
like
yeah,
to your point, I wish they'd bring it back because I feel like a lot of it's me, my little soapbox. A lot of teams avoid good teams nowadays. They don't want to play
yes,
any non-conference team that they could possibly lose to.
yeah,
And so Notre Dame, that's why they went to the ACC mostly,
yeah,
and they're independent, but they play a mostly ACC schedule. That conference is, a
yep.
little down. You saw how they felt about Florida State this year, last season.
yeah,
So with Notre Dame, those
yep.
are always classic games. You got, you say Little John Flowers. That was like growing up. That was my memory. Michigan State players playing against Notre Dame. You have the last second one was the Little Giants play with Mark D'Antonio. You have all the iconic back and forth games.
yes, yes, yes. You can't. I mean, you can't. I don't even know how that's not even a game anymore. But you're right. I mean, these teams don't want to play like Notre Dame. They would have like a gauntlet of trying to come through and play Michigan, Michigan State, Purdue, you know, then they was like, they don't want to keep doing that. It's like, let's go out to the ACC somewhere. We ain't about to keep playing those teams because we beat them like every year we played them like for 5 years straight. We had beat. I've never lost to Notre Dame, so they definitely did not want to see us at that time. So I understand why they stopped playing us because it started to get a little lopsided. I guess I don't know,
Yeah, yeah.
but it
I
was a great.
think
I
other
love
than
going to
Michigan
Notre
State,
Dame. That's a field that like one of those fields. That's one that you want to go and play there. Like to get
mm-hmm.
a chance to play at Notre Dame at their iconic stadium and stuff like that, and get a chance to go there and beat them there. That's even better. So beating Ohio State
yeah,
at Michigan
yeah,
State is big time. So you know it's huge.
yeah. I think the only other team that beat Notre Dame on a consistent basis, other than Michigan State, I think was USC. At least back in that time when you were playing against them, Little John. I think USC was the only team that may have beaten Notre Dame more, if not that much more, than MSU. From I think I have to, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
check my check Google or Siri or the Amazon Echo, but
Right.
I wonder if they
but
still
yeah,
play
those
USC
are
because I
those are
know
classic battles.
with USC coming to the Big Ten, I wonder if Notre Dame's still going to play them. 'Cause I know they kept USC and Stanford, but they got rid of Michigan and Michigan State. So it wouldn't surprise me in the future if Notre Dame moves USC off the list, even though they've been kind of down the last couple of years.
Yeah, that is their USC Notre Dame is our Michigan State. I don't know if they'll ever get rid of that game. Notre Dame need to just come to the Big Ten. I mean, I don't know why they didn't come to the
Yes.
Big Ten. They just need to come to the Big Ten.
Because they don't want that smoke. They want that easy path to be in the championship game or in the playoffs. That's what it really is.
They definitely don't want that smoke, man. So there's a
so
lot of stuff. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask Little John, what made you come to Michigan State? What was some of the factors that made you come from, my first hometown of Kalamazoo, Michigan,
Yeah.
to East
Well,
Lansing?
I was I definitely was getting recruited by everybody in the country. I would have been a 5-star recruit as they is right now. Uh, I had a really good high school career down there, so I had letters from.
Mm-hmm.
I think my mom might still have all those letters. I got letters from everywhere, um, offers from everywhere to go to school. Couple things was like first off, I've never flew before, so I wasn't flying to any place. So that
I feel that.
I wasn't trying to be
Yeah.
away from my mom and dad that much either too, man. I was a daddy's boy, mama and daddy's boy. So, I wasn't trying to go too far away from them. And then Nick Saban, he was a really, 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 really good recruiter, man. I mean, that dude was really
Mm-hmm.
good. He was he made me feel special, I guess, too. And then at the time they had Cedric Irvin, who the great Cedric Irvin, at running back, and I knew like I didn't think Cedric was gonna stay his senior till his senior year, so I knew it'd be time for me like go up there, learn something from him, see how he was doing it, and then when he leaves, then it'd be my turn, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I saw it play out in my mind. Um, so I knew he would be going. Then I would get a chance. So that was a big thing. And then what's really sealed it was Nick Saban. He had took me up there to the basketball game. Me, my mom, and my dad, and we there watching the game. And then just so happened Magic came down and came to talk to us. So I'm like,
Oh
what? That's
wow.
magic. And my dad was a huge Magic Johnson fan too. So, like we got a chance to meet Magic. Like this is we going here. I committed that night, as a junior. I committed, like, you know what, I'm done. I'm coming
Mm-hmm.
here to Michigan State. So after I got the chance to talk with Magic and just, feel that type of excitement for the school and all that stuff, like it was a no brainer for me. So
Oh man, that's dope,
Okay.
man. Yeah. Yes. Yes. What's your question for Mr. Little John Bryan? I know you got something
I'm gonna
juicy.
say I do. I do. I was just thinking, like, you played for Nick Saban. Like, what are some of your more challenging times playing at Michigan State? Like, what was some of the challenges you faced there?
oh man, I've faced some big time challenges that challenged my character and challenged like just just everything. Like like I was saying, like I knew, I was helping recruit, my best friend who was TJ Duckett, to come up there, and I thought he was coming up there to be a linebacker. Like that's what he played in high school. High school, I was a running back. He was the quarterback slash linebacker, but he was the linebacker. He was Gatorade All American, Gatorade Player of the Year. He was all world linebacker. So I was recruiting him to come up to Michigan State too, and for a while there, like going into my sophomore year. Um, you know, um, I had a really good camp. I played a lot against Oregon. I mean, I played like you know, I was doing really good. Had a really good game. Like six, I think I had like 6 carries. Lloyd Clemens ended up getting his 6th year, which was
Mm-hmm.
cool. I don't know. I don't know if I was ready to be the starter at the time anyway. But Lloyd got his 6th year, and it was cool. Lloyd was getting tick, I was getting tick, and TJ was just coming in on like 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s because he was so big. He could just run through everybody. And he was getting those yards. But everything else, we was handling it. And then I think we played Eastern Michigan, and I rolled my ankle running
Oh.
out kickoff or something like that. I rolled my ankle on kickoff. So usually, in those games against like Eastern Michigan, Western, or those teams, they're like, you know, the starters they're not supposed to be playing that long. So I mean, I knew I was gonna get a lot of a lot of chances to carry the ball against Western or Eastern at that time, and I knew like I was go off on those fools, and they give me a chance to run the ball with our offensive line against that squad. Yeah, I got it. And we had an offensive line that was
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous at that time. But I rolled my ankle, so they didn't want to play Lloyd. They put TJ in there. The rest is history because TJ did not look back. I mean, when he got in there, he ran like he's supposed to do. That's what he was supposed to do. He ran like he had never
Mm-hmm.
ran before. He was running that thing, and that's what he's supposed to do. And now you got the number one player in the country, the Gatorade player, and like they like shit. He needs to get the ball more. Like he look how fast he is. So I kind of moved back into the thing, and then from there on, I have been TJ backup ever since then.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but that's I wouldn't want to back up. I wouldn't want to do that with anybody else in this world. With TJ, that's my best friend. So
Right.
bagging him up was cool. But that was a challenging time for me to now all of a sudden I gotta be the backup to my best friend in college. Why don't I go somewhere else? Why don't I go do something else? Why don't I go to another school? Just transfer out of here. And I felt like I needed to, just suck it up, stay here, and ride it out, work hard, bust my butt, and good things gonna happen. And it did turn out well for me. So that was probably one of the most challenging things ever. Just swallowing my pride when it came to like I should be starting somewhere, and I probably could have started somewhere in the. I probably could have started somewhere in the country as a running back, but I chose to stay there at Michigan State and ride it out and see what happens. And I think it was the best decision ever for me. I almost got drafted in the NFL. I can't like I can't complain about that. I did go to the NFL, but I mean, I wouldn't trade that time up there for anything.
That's cool,
Oh,
especially I know
that's cool,
nowadays
man.
with how kids can transfer in and out. They have a lot of different rules. So I'm glad you stuck with it and persevered because I feel like I understand that you want kids to be able to move around now and take their own destiny into their hand, but at the same time, just staying put and riding out can teach you so much as well.
Yeah, yeah, it can teach you. It teach you a lot, man, because life is gonna throw a whole bunch of curveballs at you. It's gonna throw a whole bunch of things at you. If you can't, I've learned from that situation. Being patient and being, you know, persistent and being consistent and working hard. Those things there go so far in life and your jobs that you do outside of football, everything that you do outside of football. If you can do all those things and you can get your mind right into those things there, then success is just bound to happen to you because you are working hard, you are being consistent, you are staying through the rough times. When you get knocked down, you get back up, and you keep rolling. Those are life lessons. And now, I get it. Guys get a chance to move around, but when something bad happened, a coach yell at you because you ain't do something right. Now you want to leave. I mean, that ain't life. You know what I'm saying? That ain't
Not at
living.
all.
When
Right.
you do something wrong, you're supposed to get yelled at. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to deal with it. Don't do nothing wrong, then you won't get yelled at. Not
Exactly.
stuff
Come
like
back,
that.
do
Right.
it better next
Right.
time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's the life lesson that I learned for staying there and going through everything that I went through. It just helped me as a better person, as a better father, as a better you know human being. Being able to do those type of things. So it's good.
So, and looking over your NFL career, because did you get drafted by the Jets?
Yeah, I didn't get drafted. I went up there as a free agent. I was a free agent
Oh,
with the
okay.
Jets. Yep. I was let me see, like that was I got called by Houston and Jacksonville in the fifth round of the draft. And I thought
Okay.
both times I thought they was calling me to draft me. and that would have been like just unbelievable if I'd have got drafted, with my career. But I did get called. They told me they were going to draft me in the seventh round,
Mm-hmm.
but they never did. So they didn't draft me, and the round, like the 7 rounds went through, and I was waiting on a phone call. I decided to go back up to Michigan State because I was in Kalamazoo. Went back up to Michigan State where I was staying at, and was getting ready to go see this movie with The Rock in it called Scorpion King. And as I was walking in there, I
Oh
finally got that
yeah, I
call from
remember
the
that
Jets.
movie.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
the Jets had called and they was like, we gonna talk to your agent. I was like, man, don't talk to anybody. I'm coming. Sign me. Sign me. Let me get up there. Let me play some football. I just want to play some football. So got a chance to go up there, and I stuck around with the Jets for like 4 years, man. Practice squad. They would send me over to NFL Europe. They kept bringing me back. Like I just
Mm-hmm.
was a journeyman in the NFL with the Jets, and then I played one little training camp, and I was thinking I was on the team for like 6 months with the Giants. So
Mm-hmm.
still was green and white with the Jets. So it was cool.
Oh,
It was cool.
that's cool, man. At least you have that experience because a lot of players don't get a call at all. So
Yeah.
just the
They
fact
don't
that
make it that
you
far.
made it, yeah, that's amazing.
It was a
That's really
blessing, man,
amazing.
to get up there, and that was probably that showed like that time period there was even it was rougher than going through what I was going through at Michigan State, because I mean when they bring you up there as a free agent, it's like a walk on, like
Mm-hmm.
you ain't getting that many plays in practice. You they really don't even want you there. Like you there for a body in camp to go play some of those preseason games, but you got to prove to them that you belong. And if you ain't proving to them that you belong, you ain't gonna be there because they ain't gonna want you there anyway. So like out of the 35 people that they brought up there, like I think it was like at that time the practice squad was only like 5 people on the practice squad at that time. Now it's like 16 people. I'm like 16, man. I'd have been good. Like I'm better than 16 of them bad boys. I wouldn't have nothing to worry about. But back
Right.
then, they was only keeping like 5 people on that squad, man. They cut so many people, man. I was just blessed to be on that squad. Like everybody that came in there, like all 35 of us, only 5 of us left. 30 people had to say bye. So that
Mm-hmm.
that was tough. So every time I watch that Hard Knocks, it reminds me of that time period. That I went through that shit 5 years. You know,
Oh man.
exactly what they was going through.
Right.
Exactly what they was going through.
Right. Right. If I remember too, because from that team, those years, TJ Duckett, he went to the league too, didn't he?
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
Plaxico
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burris.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of guys, man. During that year, during that time period, I'm telling you, like that Nick Saban era where who he was recruiting, man. So many guys went to the NFL from his just the talent that he had recruited. It had to be about 15 of us, 15 to 20 guys that actually
Mm-hmm.
went off to play in the NFL. You know, in some way or fashion, we were all in there. That's just telling
Mm-hmm.
you what, like he was recruiting some really good guys. He got an eye for talent. I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you that. That it,
Oh
it
yeah.
wasn't
Definitely.
like
Oh yeah.
it wasn't like how it was at Alabama, but we definitely had a lot of guys that was going to the league, from his era. Just his era alone, I think, Plexico was first round, TJ was first round, Julian Peterson was first round.
Oh yeah. I
That's
remember
three,
Julian
yeah,
Peterson. Yeah.
that's 3 first rounders out of his class already, and I might be missing one. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like the second. Yeah, he was the one who recruited Charles Rogers. That's 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, he knew how to pick them. I'm telling you that. And he was on that Michigan State for like 5 years at the time. To have like 4 or 5 first round draft picks. That's telling you something, man. Some
That's
colleges
telling
Oh
you a
don't.
whole
yeah.
lot.
Some colleges don't have no first round
Oh
draft
yeah.
picks at all. So
Right.
he was picking them, man. So
So what you into now, Lil John? What you into now in your post Spartan slash NFL career? What you got going on these days?
well, I work just like everybody else. I've been in retail now for I'm going on 15 years. I've been in the retail business, and
Okay.
I do that. And then the other thing I do is golf, man. I am an avid golfer. Like I golf almost every day. So I golf.
Man, I wish I can get into golf. I'm terrible at it.
Yeah,
Hey,
me
look here, man. Golf
too.
is the hardest game. Golf is the hardest game I've ever played, man. It is. It is. It is tough. It's hard, and I'm pretty decent at it right now. Like I shoot in the 70s. I've had a couple even par rounds. Like the average golfer ain't gonna just beat me. It'll take somebody who's been playing golf for a little bit to beat me in golf. Um,
Hmm.
I play a lot, and I got a lot of aspirations in it, so I'm gonna keep doing that thing there. But golfing is what I'm really doing right now, man. And after taking care of my kids, but my boys, them two of them is so they taking care of themselves now, so don't have to worry about them too. So now I get a chance to golf, man. And I'm getting my little youngest son, we'll get him into it. But golfing and working, that's what I do, and just try to
Hmm.
stay out the way and stay in shape. Just try to stay in shape.
Hmm.
Feel
Yes,
that.
yeah. That stay in shape part, yeah, that gets a little harder as you get older.
Yes, it does.
Definitely.
Well,
Yes,
I say
it does.
as a non athlete, yeah, it's
See,
but
it's in my blood. Like to working out like that. I mean, I have to work out. Like it's like it just
hmm
I've been doing it for so long. Like when I have no choice but to get up and go work out or work out every day or do something like that. Like that if I don't do that, I feel weird. My problem
hmm
is at times that I just want to eat whatever I want to eat.
Yeah.
That'd be
mm.
the problem there. Like shoot, man. If I could, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd be about 350 pounds right now if I could. That's how much I like to eat. I ain't gonna lie to you. I love me some food, man. So my part, the biggest challenge for me is like just putting that plate down, man. Like stop eating that. Sweets. Stop eating all that stuff. When you working in retail, I worked at Walmart and I worked at Kroger. It's all kind of bad stuff in there,
hmm
man. And the old ladies be bringing those all those cookies and all those sweets during the holidays and all that stuff. You be tearing that stuff up, man. I'm like, nah, bro. I got to watch for that. So, the working out part is just me. That's who I've been. I've been working out since I was 7 years old, 8 years old. I've been working out. I'm gonna
hmm
continue to do that. The hardest part for me is just watching what I'm eating right now. So, and I've been doing pretty good, man.
hmm
I started back watching what I was eating. Probably, I did the same thing everybody else. My New Year's resolution was to lose a little weight. I'm down
hmm
about 20, 22 pounds now. I'm back to like what I weighed when I was in college. So,
Oh,
that's
that's
where I try to
dope.
stay.
That's
I try
dope.
to stay right around
That's dope.
that area there. So, that's all.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yes, definitely. So, what's your thoughts on the current Spartan football program with Coach Smith and his staff now coming in, taking over, from the previous regime? What's your thoughts on
Mhm.
them? Any? Thoughts on that?
I we'll see. I'm hoping for the best. They have my full support. Like I support them 100%. Like on everything that they're doing now. I have not met them yet, or met any one of them yet. I know our golf outing should be coming up here soon. For all the former players and stuff, they usually have a golf outing coming up this spring. So I plan on going up there and getting a chance to, I'll get a chance to sit down and chop it up with, hopefully I get a chance to see the coach, the head coach, and see who all the
Mm-hmm.
other coaches is, and get a chance to just feel them out and see what they talking about. I hope they, you know, I'm hoping they bring a change and bring something new and something better, and make sure that we're competitive, man. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for us to be super competitive and win some games and get back to going to that playoffs and playing in big time bowl games as the D'Antonio era was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to that. And I want them to have that same type of energy. So I'm hoping for the best. I'm wishing. I've heard some good things about the coaches. I'm looking forward to going up there and meeting them. I am gonna go up there a few times this year. I'll probably go up to homecoming this year. I'm gonna spend a little time up there to see if I can get to know the guys up there, and see how's it going, man. I'm just praying that we can bounce back and forget everything that happened before, and let's move forward and get this program back on track, because you know hardball is gone, and that's a great thing in my opinion.
Yes.
Good ring.
Yeah.
Get him out of there. So I mean, now let's get back focused here now, and get back on track, get this thing back turned around, and let's do it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, I know they have
Yeah, that's good to
the
hear.
spring game. And I know the spring practice is starting a couple of weeks, and then the spring game is in April.
Yep.
So
The
that's everybody's
20th.
kind of like
Yeah,
first
April
time,
20th.
Yep.
kind of seeing, okay, what we, a little sneak preview. So everybody's, I'm excited for that, just to kind of see, as they move forward and see what we got.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I want to say I don't know the coach. I don't know what type of offense they're gonna be running, what type of defense they're gonna be running, and that type of stuff, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what that gonna look like. I think he had the quarterback transfer with him from um,
Yeah,
wherever he
Oregon
was
from
State,
from
Oregon
yep.
State.
before. Yeah,
Yep.
so um, that's a good thing. That's pretty good. That must mean that kid really liked that coach, to come up there and follow him all the way up to Michigan State. So that's a good thing. I'm looking forward to that too, man. Spring ball, to see like what's going on, and hopefully this year, I ain't been to a spring game. I don't think I've been to a spring game since I played in the spring game, but I've been up there when we have the golf outings a few times. So I'm giving them a chance, man. I'm definitely gonna come up there and check him out. Definitely.
Yeah, from what I recently read an article on the new offensive coordinator, and he was saying how they're going to be running like a modern pro style offense, which is going to utilize a different kinds of not sets plays, and it's going to be one of those. From what my understanding is, it's going to be like one of those type of offenses that keeps the defense guessing with the different types of
Yeah.
sets they plan on or plays they plan on running and schemes, whatever. So, because I was
Yeah.
telling Brian when MSU was looking for a new head coach, my preference was to have an offensive minded coach because the last three coaches were all defense, and it was good. Definitely good. But just looking how the offense really suffered this past season, I was like, yeah, we need like a more offensive minded coach. So I am glad that we did get one with Jonathan Smith, and but like you said, it's a matter of just seeing, you know, the results on the field, how it looks.
Yeah, and I hope I've heard of those offensive minded coaches and those type of things there, but I hope they are what I'm looking forward to is not now I'm not biased because I'm a running back. I'm biased because if you look at the teams that win national championships, you know, Michigan last year, the Alabama teams, they hit you in the mouth, man. They run downhill. They
Oh yeah.
run that ball. They may have had they got some plays. They got some play action. They got some sets that they gonna do here. But when you get back to it, they are running the ball. They are gonna hit you in the
Mm-hmm.
mouth. And if you ain't talking about hitting nobody in the mouth, it ain't gonna work in the Big Ten. Like I mean, that's what
100%.
that is what
Yeah,
Michigan
a
just
thousand
did. I
percent.
mean, they just ran the ball. You couldn't stop them running. If you can't stop them running, then you ain't gonna beat them. And then they had plays that because they ran the ball so well that they could do different wrinkles in there to get people open to run this do. But it all starts with running the ball, and that's a mindset. That is like we are about to go and hit people in the mouth,
Mm-hmm.
move the line of scrimmage, and when we need to get 3-4 yards, we can just turn around and hand the ball off because we know we got
Yep.
trusty
Yep.
people in the front that's gonna hit you in the mouth. Now you want to get out there, we want to throw 1,000 yards, we want to throw all these passes, all that. I get it, I get it. That may work in the Pac-12, may work in the Pac-12 or Pac-10, whatever it is out there, like them boys out there in Washington was doing that. Yeah, it worked out there for them. They can throw the ball around a million times, but when it comes down to trying to win a national championship, man, those teams is hitting you in the mouth, man. They running the ball. Nick Saban
Yep.
teams was
Mm-hmm.
look at all Nick Saban teams that won national championship. Yeah, they had some people who throw the ball. They had two who could throw the ball, but they had them running backs that was back there that was workhorses, and they had offensive lines
Yes.
that hit people in the mouth, So for me, it all starts there. Like if we can get a great offensive line, we can get people that can run the ball. We can find some people to run the ball at Michigan State. We can find somebody to
Mm-hmm.
run the ball. Our great team that we had with Kenneth Walker, he ran the ball. Why do you think we were so good?
Yep.
Because we could run the ball.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We had
Right.
somebody that will hit people in the mouth and we can get a yard when we need to get a yard. When you start taking away and you dropping back throwing the ball 45 times in the Big Ten, eh,
Big Ten is a ball control offense league. And you got to be able to control the offense with the running the ball. You're 100% correct because, like you said, it's
Yes.
Michigan. They won running the ball, and it was it Georgia won too. They running the ball.
yeah, they got those guys on the outside that can make some plays. Like those guys can, like they do have some receivers that can make some plays, but the receivers better learn how to block a little bit, and then you get some receivers that can go because you gonna get one-on-one coverage when you running the ball like that. That's what made those receivers good was because they was always one-on-one because you had to put extra people in the box to try to stop the run on on Alabama or Georgia, when you try to, or like even Michigan, like they had to put people up there up on the box to try to stop them from running the ball. And then when you put everybody up on the box, then you can dump it over their head. That's how it is,
Mm-hmm.
man. I know football is like, they trying to evolve the game around and around again to all these different things. But until you get like a Patrick Mahomes, somebody that's your quarterback that or Tom Brady that can lead you that way, it always goes back to the basics of running that football, man, and having those big nasty boys up front that's gonna hit somebody in the mouth and change that line of scrimmage. That always gets you a long way. It'll take you a long way. It'll take you a long way. 49ers, I mean, they ran
100%.
the ball. They ran the 49ers.
Yeah.
Look at the NFL. They ran the ball like crazy, man. Why? So
Chiefs ran the ball too. That was the biggest thing they changed. So they started running the ball more. The Patrick Mahomes is good, but he wasn't throwing like he was before. They got invested offensive line, got that running back, the kid from Rutgers.
Yeah, come on, man. I'm telling
Yep.
you. That's what
Pacheco.
I want to see Michigan State. I want to see if they're gonna be turning around trying to hit people in the mouth. I mean, turn around and let's hand the ball off. And make some good schemes. Like you can have good schemes and good running schemes and plays and all this good stuff there. But are we hitting people in the mouth? Are we firing off that ball through that line of scrimmage? That's what I want to see. If we doing that, then we will be in most games. Most all those D'Antonio teams too. That went a long ways. Man, look at them. Go back and look at those
Yep.
teams, man. We ran the football. We hit people in the mouth. We
hmm
were a physical football team back then on both sides of the ball. And when you have a physical team that's running the ball, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have a physical defense over there because in practice, they're going to be getting hit in the mouth every day because you try to run the ball. It's just that's what makes both of them good. You know what I'm saying? You playing against each other every day. So you're going to get better and better every day. So, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping, I bleed green just like you both do. And I'm hoping we can get back on top of the mountain. And we got to hurry up because, worst thing ever could happen is the fools down the road winning a championship. That just hurts.
Yeah, it
yeah.
did. But you know what? Like I said, we got to get back to it. We got to get back up to the mountaintop because we've seen the highs of the highs and lows of the lows. We're trying to get back to the highs.
Right. The very highs,
Absolutely. Absolutely. We
especially with
have to.
this new playoff, this 12-team playoff now starting this year.
Yep.
And so what's so funny is they're starting to talk about I think having like maybe 14 teams in it. I'm like,
Yeah,
damn,
they actually expanded it.
can we just do the 12 first? Now let's get through the
Well,
It's
12
about
team
that
playoff
money.
first. Now
Trying to get
like
that
we
money.
went to 14.
they
Like,
they are
geez.
trying to get that money, man. I am good with the playoffs. I mean, long as it's over with by like January 8th or something like that. I don't know how they gonna do it, what they gonna do. I know it's a long time period before they have all this. So they got I think you could have the games, once the season is over, they play their last game and then they make whoever made the playoffs, the next week they start the playoffs. Then I think it could get done still by like January 8th or whatever it is. Still have games on January 1st or whatever. Um, they just don't need to be extending it all the way out. I mean, geez, Louise, man, NFL season was so long compared to a college season at that time. Like we played 10 games or 11 games at that time in college, and then they go all the way to 17 weeks, bruh. Look, I don't know if I'd have been ready for that in college. You know what I'm saying? Because
hmm
college a different animal where you do have school, you got all these other things that you have to do. It isn't, you know, can you keep those guys focused all the way that time? And if you think about it, a team that pays 10 games there, and then you got a 14 team playoff or a 12 team playoff. What's that? 3 extra games, maybe 2 extra games.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
3 extra games
Yeah.
that you have to pay. So now you up to like 13, 14 games in the season. That used to be an NFL season, 14 games.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's 5 and so it's 12 already. If you go to the championship game, that's 13.
Yeah, that's right.
Depending on your seeding for the playoffs, you might play 2 or 3 more games.
Because it's going to definitely,
As
especially
that's the
when.
NFL season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because even if you like, if you the championship teams, everybody that got to like the Big Ten championship and the other championships, the loser of that probably is going to make the playoffs. If you think about it,
Yes.
like whoever lose
Yep.
that game, they're gonna make the playoffs, at least get a chance to. So yes, all those teams is gonna be playing 13, 14, 15, 16 games, man. That's a long time for putting on them college kids, man. That's a long time. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of games, a lot of injuries. That's why the
Yes.
NFL is how it is. Now they want to cut back on it so much because you start in June, or we used to start in the end of July, uh, and you go all the way till the latest I ever went was all the way till January something in in the playoffs for NFL. That's a long time, man. That's like 6, 7 weeks
It is.
of nothing but us, and we getting ready for a game every week. Yeah,
It's like a grind.
that is a grind, man. That is a grind.
Yes, yes, it is. Brian, do you have any questions, parting thoughts for our illustrious
I
guest here?
just thank him again for joining us. Like I really appreciate it. Just coming on and chopping it up with us. Just gives a little insight. Really, really appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
Yes, sir.
love.
Me too. Me too. And we're definitely gonna have you on again, Little John. As the season get back to this football season, definitely gonna have you back on.
Oh yeah,
Giving your thoughts and gotta
my
check up
thoughts
on
are
the
set.
toughness on the
Yeah,
team. They smash mouthing these upcoming opponents and whatnot.
yes, yes. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna tell you about what I'm seeing. Be 100% with you, honest. I'm hoping it's right. So I love being on here, man. I'm so happy you guys are doing this. Keep it up, keep going, keep growing, keep working hard, doing y'all things. It's gonna be huge, man. Keep it up. I appreciate
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
you,
you.
man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
you. Yeah.
So with that, this is Q the Woodshed on with our Super Spartan legendary guest running back, Little John Flowers once again. I'm Ken, the Super Cool Spartan. My brother Brian, Super Mad Spartan, or right now the Super Mellow Spartan. And we out. Go green.
Go white.